I'm going to find the promised land.
Stuck inside of these walls within. Okay. I don't recognize who I've turned into. I'm losing hope in getting myself back. Everything around me is starting to turn black. Don't tell me you're hurt again. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me how I've met my match again, starting from scratch again. Where is the pleasure in all this pain? Don't you lie to me, say it's all okay, when it feels like I'm drowning. I hate to say goodbye, but it's time to go. All I need is I've never felt more divided than now. Every word that leaves your lips never means how it sounds. Conquer the best of me, could have just set me free. Games that you play are just second hand. Now I'm beside myself, don't want your fucking hell. Let me just go, let me just go. Don't you lie to me. Okay, when it feels like I'm drowning. I hate to say goodbye, but
Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Tonight is the culmination of our 2020 Black Box VR Winter Invitational. We have our two final matches here. First, to determine who's going to be walking away with the bronze medal, and then we'll wrap things up with the championship event tonight. We started with 16 athletes. We are going to get down to just one champion. As joining me, as she has throughout the tournament, is Amber Parker. And Amber, we're ready to crown a winner. Do you have anything to say as we get ready for these matches? Because it's been a pretty incredible month and a half. I know we took some time off for the holidays for this tournament.
This has been an intense ride for everybody, and I just have to say that it has been great to watch everybody just push themselves and work so hard and come together for this cool event that Black Box was able to do with you guys.
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun. As someone who's been going to Black Box, it's just like I aspire to be like half as insane as some of these guys are because they are just absolutely incredible. We're going to have our championship. It's going to be between Barrett Law and Preston. Before we get to that, though, we are going to have our third place game. Due to some scheduling, it's going to be a little bit different. It'll be Mr. Mojo taking on Andrew Law. Josh not able to participate in the third place game. This is how we got here, though. You can see Andrew Law was defeated by Preston in the round of 8. You can see how we got here. And really, Preston, I would have to think, has been the most impressive competitor that we've seen, Amber, on the stream. I think we've seen almost all of his matches, and he has consistently put up a very, very high score.
He really has. He is a fierce competitor for sure.
Yeah, so as we saw here, Josh and Mr. Mojo, we're going to play for the third place, but Josh not able to participate in it, so we are going to put Andrew Law into the third place game. He'll be playing Mr. Mojo for that honor, and then Barrett, who the names, it's no coincidence, they are brothers, will be playing in the championship game against Preston, which is the one that I'm ready to see. But I'm also curious to see this third place game between Mr. Mojo and Andrew because it's been a while since we've seen Andrew, and we've kind of seen Mr. Mojo's last few games and just how insane he is with the leg workouts, the squats and the deadlifts. That's what he does like predominantly, and it's insane. I think they said 50,000 pounds is what his average workout is just in leg workout, which is crazy to me.
It's insane. The guy does legs all day. The one thing about Andrew is he is not just only strong, but he does have a lot of strategy as well. And he's one of those people who has seriously looked at our game in depth that a lot of people haven't. So I would honestly be very, very intimidated just by that knowledge alone.
Yeah, and Andrew, kind of ran into the buzzsaw. He had to play Preston earlier in the tournament, and Preston has really not let anyone off easily, so could be a reason why he didn't get to go as far as maybe he wanted. Here is the boss today. It is our Supreme, and looking at these exercise attacks and the deck, does anything stand out to you, Amber?
Rezzer Supreme, just on a general level, is no joke, but this souped-up version of Rezzer is actually insane. These levels are higher than Preston, so that should tell you a lot.
Yeah, that does say a lot. I know you were telling me after our semifinals that the dev team kind of got together and was like, Minion Crew for the boss is probably not the best idea, so that got shelved. Only the one tank, though. Only the Rock Dude, which is kind of, I would think, would favor Mr. Mojo because he's always going to be doing that super effective damage with the Ice Shard and the Cold Fusion. So that would be the one thing that stands out to me is the one tank should be kind of easily countered by Mr. Mojo's strongest attacks. But maybe I'm wrong.
Well, with that level of a Rock Dude, his health is ridiculously through the roof, and it would take a lot. You would have to have Hysterical and probably multiple sets to pull him down.
Yeah, the other thing that's sticking out to me is the level 34 Lightning Tiger. We've seen Mr. Mojo use those a lot. They're going to right down to the gate or the crystal. So those, they don't have a lot of health, but you're going to have to make sure you're ready to deal with them because if there's a Rock Dude on one side and a Lightning Tiger on the other side, it could be absolute chaos. As we said, we started with 16 competitors. We battled all the way down to basically our final four. We've got our consolation third place game, then we'll have the championship to crown the overall winner of the 2020 Black Box Winter Invitational. The win conditions, as you could see, most crystals destroyed. The tiebreaker, if they destroy the same amount of crystals, will be the higher score differential between the player and the boss. Each crystal's worth 1,000 points. The gates protecting the crystal are worth 500. So basically every time you destroy a crystal, you'll get about 1,500 points, but those won't matter until we get to the tiebreaker. And if, which we had it in the first round, and luckily Amber haven't had it since we get to the second tiebreaker, then it's total volume lifted, which is just absolutely insane.
That is indeed, and it'd be interesting to see what ends up happening here.
Well, as we said, our third place game, Andrew Law stepping in for Josh, taking on Mr. Mojo. And as we've done throughout the tournament, we're going to head down to the gym where we got a chance to hear Andrew's thoughts heading in to this third place showdown.
All right, folks, I'm here with Andrew Law going into the final round, or the battle for third place, I should say.
Yeah.
How do you feel going into this this round today, Andrew?
I'm a bit anxious about it. Honestly, there's a lot of really high damage guys in there. There's not a lot of tanks. There's just one tank, but still, with those higher levels, if you get behind, he's just going to chew through you. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you're going up against Rezzer Returns, I think, hero level 35.
Yeah.
So you're in for a treat. What is your share with us a little bit of your strategy going into today? Don't reveal too much.
Yeah,
but
no, right? So the biggest thing I think for this one is just going to be making sure to not field units too quickly, making sure to gauge what he's doing, but also to make sure to preserve my legs for the rock dudes because they're going to need a lot of that. But if I can do that, if I can take out his units before they get going too much, I mean, Chill Bill, Lightning Tiger, those guys could mess me up if I don't take them out pretty quickly. So I'd say really the strategy is making sure that I field my guys when I need to and kill off his guys, as quickly as possible. So
All right, sounds simple enough.
yeah, hopefully.
So last question, we'll finish on this so you can get going, Andrew. How do you feel about Mr. Mojo? I mean, you're battling it out for third place today, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts towards him and what he might do today?
I mean, it kind of worries me. Honestly, he can do deadlifts all day, every day, it seems like, and that's going to work really well for him against Rock Dude. I mean, the area of effect isn't necessarily going to work terribly well because the only guy that's probably going to be up next to the Rock Dude is Lightning Tiger.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, it could go my way, it could go his, but honestly, it's going to be a pretty intense fight, I think. But I'm thinking he'll do well either way.
All right. Well, we look forward to watching you. Back to you guys.
Now, we haven't heard from Mr. Mojo. We're going to hear from him very shortly, I'm told. But do you think we're going to see a similar strategy? Because we know Mr. Mojo's strategy, Amber, which is Lightning Tigers, Minion Crews, just kind of pester the enemy tanks so then he can weaken it down. Do you think we'll see the same thing from Andrew, or do you think we'll see the traditional slowly kind of whittle down the units and then throw up your big tank with the Scotties right behind it that we've seen kind of Preston and Barrett do a little bit?
I'm pretty sure, Mr. Mojo is going to probably stick with a lot of his strategy that he's used in the past. However, the Law Brothers are just known for assessing each situation and adjusting accordingly.
So that was my other question. Do you think Andrew's had a small advantage because him and his brother are both taking on the same boss? They kind of have two heads versus one?
I mean, they do, when they do their practice workouts and they come in on a regular basis, they're always scheming and figuring out which thing is working and which unit they should use when and how. And I think that is going to give them a big leg up.
Well, let's head back down to the arena and let's hear from Mr. Mojo and what his thoughts are heading into this third place event.
All right, folks, I'm here with Mr. Mojo, heading into his arena battle. A few questions for Mr. Mojo before you get started. Are you rested from your last battle? Are you prepared for your battle today?
Yeah, I'm pretty rested. So, last battle was a while back. So, I'm ready to go.
All right, so you've had a chance to look at Jim's email. I mean, you're going up against one of the strongest AIs we've seen to date, Reser Supreme. What are your thoughts going in towards him?
I'm excited for the challenge, Like, all the bosses I fought the last few weeks are, not at the level where I'm at yet. So, I like a challenge. So, it'll be another challenge that I'm willing to rise to. All
right, good deal. Have you changed up your strategy at all? Like, your technique going into this battle since the tournament started, or are you going with the same one?
No, I'm going to go with the same one, man. It's what I know. So
definitely got to play to your strengths. And how do you feel? We'll finish on this one, Mr. Mojo. How do you feel about going up against Andrew? I mean, are you pretty confident that you'll beat him this time, or what are your thoughts towards him?
Once again, I'm up for the challenge. I know Andrew is up there as far as one of the top people coming into the gym,
right.
And so I look forward to the challenge. That's all I'm looking forward to.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you perform today, Mr. Mojo. Thanks for the interview.
VR Winter Invitational is supported by Bang Energy. If you're looking for something to fuel your next workout or hike, you want sustained energy as well as peak mental and physical performance, Bang is the energy drink for you. Bang Energy, potent brain and body fuel. We are just moments away from starting our 30-minute match for third place. We've heard from both the competitors, Andrew Law and Mr. Mojo. Amber, I know that you see them all the time, so one of them's going to hold it against you, but who do you like more in this third place match as coming out victorious?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think they're both great guys. I love seeing them come in. I love hearing their feedback and watching them progress. Mr. Mojo has been a great addition to the Black Box team and coming in. He didn't start that long ago. And the Law Brothers, they've been with us for a long time now. So they're just all great people. So it's kind of hard because I want them all to win.
Unfortunately, that's not what's going to happen, but we're going to see, as we said, it's Andrew Law versus Mr. Mojo for the third place match in our Black Box Winter Invitational. Then we'll have our championship with Barrett Law and Preston coming up after this. I've been told that the competitors were just so amped to get going. We're actually going to join a few minutes into the match, so I think about 28 minutes are going to be left on the clock when we do hop in. They were just that amped up to get this going, so I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. Yeah, you see see, looks like we actually 3 minutes in, and looks like on both sides, Reser Supreme has taken down a gate. Probably not the best place to start for either of these competitors.
No, that is not the way you want to start. But, you know, with Reser Supreme being the level that he is right now, the chance of you having a gate, you're just going to lose a gate to this guy.
Yeah, it does look like, as we get Andrew's perspective here, he has kind of got his setup going. He's got at least a pair of Scotties out on the field, but I don't see any tanks protecting them, which is kind of an interesting strategy. Yeah, it looks like that Winja just kind of ripped right through him. So I don't know if he had a tank in front of him and lost it, but those Scotties didn't do a whole lot of damage for him.
No, they did not last long at all.
Winja taken care of pretty quickly. He's got his crystal at about 78%. Here comes his own rock dude out on the field. Not going to be level 35 like Reser Supremes, of course.
No, sadly, but you know, a rock dude, even at low levels, just has a huge amount of health. He's definitely a good damage sponge.
You can see Mr. Mojo probably in a slightly more precarious spot. He is also down a gate, but there's a rock dude just beating away on his crystal right now, and it's pretty healthy at the same time as well.
Your chest pushed up
Indeed.
against the pad, and
Yeah.
your head facing forward for this exercise.
Looks like he took down the Lightning Tiger. Yeah, he just... The amount of damage that the deadlift for Mr. Mojo does is just absolutely incredible. I mean, that was 1,600 damage. Now he's doing over 2,000 damage every attack. Hysterical. I mean, that's just insane to me.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. And the fact that he can just load them up, you know, set after set is really, really impressive.
He's got, looks like a Winja at just very minuscule HP beating down on his crystal. Also a Lightning Tiger there. He's going to summon his Sunbird out. Ooh, you're going to get another Sunbird, just try and help him kind of survive here. But that crystal of his dropping pretty low. He's down to 50%. He's also got a Lightning Tiger on the other side that it looks like, for better or worse, he's just kind of ignoring right now.
Yeah, with those Lightning Tigers from the boss right now are no joke.
Yeah, looks like the Winja and the Lightning Tiger on the left side of it taken out. Now he's going to no, he's just going to leave that Lightning Tiger up. That is a bold strategy. You see Andrew is taking down a gate with his Rock Dude and his Scotties. So he's just a little bit ahead of Mr. Mojo, who I think his crystal just got hit for like 3,000 damage or something like that is what I just saw.
Ooh, yeah, his crystal's getting really low.
And he looks like he might lose another gate as well. He's trying to summon a Lightning Tiger just to soak some damage, also some Spark Crows. I faced Spark Crows for the first time the other day, and they're very annoying because not only are they aerial units, but there's 3 of them. And I felt like my AoE attacks were only ever hitting one. So like I was trying to be cheeky and use AoE, and it would just only hit one Spark Crow, and I was like, you stupid birds, can you just sit together for 3 seconds?
Exactly, and that's the strategy with them. It makes you have to use your direct attacks, and you're going to have to change it up in order to take them out.
You see Andrew has gotten Reser Supreme's crystal to 12%. He's got a Lightning Tiger beaten down on his crystal, so he's probably just going to put out a Rock Dude to protect it. He's got the 2 Scotties there that are still just kind of beating away. So the Lightning Tiger, I mean, we've talked about how good it is that it runs past everything, except right now where Reser's Lightning Tigers are just ignoring Andrew's Scotties, and that's going to give him the first round.
Yep, there it goes.
So that's a pretty good start for Andrew. I would have to think that unless Mr. Mojo had a small miracle, I don't think he might have actually lost the crystal to start as well, which would be very unfortunate. Yeah, we see Reser. Actually, Reser got that other gate as well. So Mr. Mojo down a full 2,000 points, which is not very easy to come back from.
No, it is not. That can be really disheartening to happen so early. But I mean, again, without having that heavy mode available right at the get-go and having a boss this strong, you're going to have some damage done.
Yeah, heavy mode unlocking 5 minutes into the match, so definitely makes those Rock Dudes very, very hard. I really love how aggressive Mr. Mojo is. I mean, we saw him using one of his grenades right away to try and put some damage on that gate, and it just really kind of makes me laugh because I feel like every other competitor is like, okay, I'll save my power up, I'll let them come to me, and he's like, no, I'm throwing this grenade right away. I'm going to do as much damage as possible. I'll worry about not having a power up in 10 minutes. I'll deal with that later.
Yeah, exactly. And again, he knows too in those first moments before heavy mode's available, sometimes it's good to just buy yourself some time. So he does. He is consistent with that aggressive approach.
See Andrew putting another rock dude down. He's got enough energy elixir for 3 Scotties as well. Just waiting for the boss to finish that cold fusion attack so it doesn't just rip through the rock dude's health.
With the boss right now having its, I believe his water level is like 35, you don't want him hitting your tanks when he hits into hysterical at that point.
No, yeah, you can see how much it's doing to his gate. 1,300 damage. It would be super effective, so doubled against the rock dude. Even hitting a rock dude at level, looks like 10 maybe for Andrew, that would not stand very long against 2,600 damage every attack.
No.
So Andrew's done a pretty good job of, I haven't seen him really on the defensive too much. I feel like every time we pan over to his side, he's already got energy elixir and he's building up and ready to go.
He is. He's definitely found himself a good pace here, and it looks like it's working pretty well for him.
Mr. Mojo has the enemy gate on the left side there, decently low, but he's got a lightning tiger he's got to deal with right now. But definitely feels like the second round for Mr. Mojo has gone a lot better than the first one. But that 2,000 point hole and losing a crystal, that's going to be really tough to climb out of, unfortunately.
It really will be.
He does take down a gate, though, so that is a good start for him.
And with the lanes clear right now, then he can just go ahead and just wail on the boss's crystal.
Yeah, it looks like the boss also building a fire tower. That's going to buy Mr. Mojo some time. And I mean, we talked about it. He goes from deadlift to more deadlift, which is just absolutely insane to me.
It really is. And he still walks out of the gym after I see him practice. It's a crazy thing.
Yeah, I would, if I ever even tried like 2 of those in a row, I would just need to be like carried out. I had to roll out of the gym. It's just really incredible how he can just kind of turn to those his ice attacks for his legs, either the squats or the deadlift, and just keep kind of throwing them over and over. I thought this would give him the advantage against those rock dudes, but just that first round just did not go his way.
It really didn't. But we'll see what kind of comeback he tries to go for here.
You can see he's supercharged now, 3% damage on all of the crystals. So as long as he can finish this set, I mean, hysterical now, hitting for 3-4%. As long as he can finish this set and doesn't max out on reps, he should take the crystal down. Oh no, he maxed out on reps.
That is the most frustrating thing too, and you're like, I was so close.
Because now it looks like there's a rock dude over there, so he's going to have to deal with that rock dude. He's got the crystal at 6%. If his Sunbird lives long enough, he might be able to, but oh man, I just think he just 6% too short of being able to take down that crystal. And that's going to probably cost him in the end like 2 or 3 minutes to get through the lightning tiger, through the, looks like the enemy Sunbird, through the rock dude, and then be able to do that minuscule damage he needed.
Yeah, that's definitely going to slow things down for him.
You do see Andrew, meanwhile, he's taken down a gate. He's actually going to get his second crystal right now.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
There he goes.
So Andrew in a pretty comfortable spot, a 2-0 crystal lead and a lead over the boss. And Reser Supreme, I'm not going to say he looks as bad as our last boss, who was just summoning minion crews all over the place, but Andrew's definitely making Reser Supreme just look like normal Reser.
He really is right now. But, again, with that strategy that he's using, it works well.
Yeah, actually, this time, who needs a tank when you've got a decently leveled fire turret just sit in front of those Scotties as well, and he's going to just berserk them right away. This is something we haven't seen, where you kind of use that flame tower as a tank instead of, a rock dude or something like that.
It does help a lot because you don't have to use any or as much elixir, so you can get more Scotties out on the field. And if you have a berserk to throw on those Scotties, then he's going to put a tank anyways. But yeah, it's a good strategy. It's solid.
How is he able to get so much energy? What? He just took down another crystal?
He really did. That was fast.
What? I mean,
yeah.
Mr. Mojo got one as well.
Yes, he did.
But what? I was like, okay, you know,
There
the
was a-
Berserk's out. Like, I've never seen a crystal go down that fast in like the middle of the round. He didn't even do anything. He let the Scotties do everything.
They turn into machine turrets. It's absolutely insane.
That is wild to me. I was not ready for that. I was like, okay, you know, I was really curious. I was like, how did he have enough energy elixir for 2 Scotties and then didn't kill anything and then had enough for a rock dude? But I mean, I don't know if his flame turret was putting in a lot of damage as well or what that was. That was crazy to me.
Yeah, that timed out really well too. It looks like Mr. Mojo is going for another Sunbird.
Yeah, he just used his second power-up. Each player gets 2 power-ups. Using that second grenade on that gate, much to what we saw him do last time, put in that quick early chip damage on it. Now he's going to summon a couple Lightning Tigers, a couple Sunbirds, try and do as much damage as he can. Then, of course, go to that trusty deadlift. And meanwhile, Andrew's just trying to survive the onslaught. Here we go. This is the Mojo strategy. Just go all out aggressive and try and just pump damage in. And it's been working pretty well outside that first round.
It has. It looks like he's holding his own pretty good now.
I just got the notes from our producer. So Andrew destroyed that second crystal at 18:21 left, and then destroyed the third crystal in 59 seconds.
Oh my goodness. That's insane.
I mean, we've seen like, you know, a couple of like 40-second like crystal destroyed when they got double damage mode. I don't think we've ever seen round restarts and you win a round again in 59 seconds. That is incredible to me.
That is super incredible.
I am honestly blown away. I have to be wondering what level Andrew's Scotties are, because those things level 15, that does make sense. I think level 20 is their max from what I've seen on the app, so they're definitely doing a ton of damage right now.
They really are. And it definitely puts Andrew in a comfortable spot now too, with that lead.
Yeah, you can see him doing the chest press. He's got the 2. I do like this strategy. It's a little more. It's a little like it's a unique twist on the meta strategy of putting the 2 Scotties out early, using that tower to soak a ton of damage. We see Mr. Mojo. He does not go with the meta strategy. He's got the Sunbirds out. He's got the Lightning Tigers that he usually summons, and he's should be able to get this gate here and only be 500 points down from Reser Supreme as we hit just under the halfway mark. There you go. He gets the gate down. So he's sitting up in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to catch back up.
I just love how he is like, he gets done, he gets told, you know, because you can only do 25 reps at a time. He maxes out on reps. His hand is already like, I'm doing this again. I don't know why you're making me, you know, do this again.
I'm going to just keep doing this. Exactly. But, you know, like he said, he's going to stick to the strategy that he knows. This is a strategy that he plays. And, you know, if his strategy doesn't quite cover everything, he knows he can fill it in with his water attacks.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I think even in last week's match against Barrett, it just felt like Mr. Mojo just has, it feels like the first round, I don't know if like the boss just takes it out on him, but the first round always seems to go against Mr. Mojo. I mean, he even referenced last week, I think in his interview, that he lost his first crystal in a match and that kind of put him behind. It feels like after the first round, Mr. Mojo kind of just dominates. It's just if he can figure out that first round, he'll be sitting in a much better spot as we see Andrews taking down a gate, and he's just going to let those Scotties do their thing once again.
Yep, there they go. Just stretch it out for a minute and let the Scotties do the work.
That is the one nice thing about Andrew's strategy compared to Mr. Mojo. Mr. Mojo's got to do a majority of the work. You know, the Lightning Tigers kind of assist, but with the Scotties, they'll just do everything. I mean, we've seen it in action. They'll just do everything. You can just kind of chill out and let them take down the crystal that Andrew should pick up here any moment. There you go.
6,000.
4 crystals to 1 right now, but I do think Mr. Mojo is pretty close to picking up his second one. He was working on it. I think he had it about 50%. So,
with Andrew's strategy too, being able to catch your breath in between all of those heavy sets is really important too. That way you can kind of get a quick little recharge, go back in, and you know, knock it out again.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just, I mean, especially against a boss at this level, you mentioned it looks like level 34, you know, 35 in almost every major attack. I mean, 10 levels higher than Mr. Mojo almost, and 5 higher than Andrew. Any break you can buy your body, especially in this last 10 minutes, is pretty insane. We see Mr. Mojo has picked up his second crystal. He's taken the lead back on the boss, so should be able to beat the boss, but unfortunately, he would need a pretty miraculous final 12 minutes here to catch Andrew being down 4 crystals to 2.
This is true.
See Andrew, he built that turret and then going to use his Firehawk there, just going to clear all of that, get all of that free energy elixir, and now he's probably going to throw down a rock dude and
Yep.
double Scotty, triple. I can't quite. No, everyone throws out Spark Crows. I always forget that Spark Crows are like you throw out one of those and then some Scotties.
Yeah, that is definitely helpful. It gives the Scotties a little bit longer time to live too, just because they are so weak. Those Spark Crows are a great diversion.
Now you see, Spark Crow's only level 2, so they're not going to have that much health. Yeah, as we talked about, they're going to be a great diversion, and even though they look like they're grouped up on your screen, when you try and use an AoE attack, it rarely hits all of them. So it does take, 6 reps to get through the Spark Crows, which buys you some time.
It does. They do take forever to level up, though. I don't think mine have. I think that mine are still at a level 1.
I haven't unlocked him yet. I've gotten the arena to unlock them, but I haven't seen them in my store or got them in a pack. That is what I'm still waiting on here.
Well, as soon as you get them, then you definitely got to try them out.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see, how this is going to go. Right now, it looks like Andrew's in a pretty comfortable spot. I think the next thing might be, you see that gate for Mr. Mojo at 50%. He might lose another gate here and even get tied up with the boss. I think right now Mr. Mojo is really just competing to beat the boss instead of beat Andrew. Little does he know this is going on all at the same time, and of course they can't just peek out. But
exactly,
he's got to worry about making sure he beats the boss, because right now that wind is beating down on him pretty hard. And the strategy with Mr. Mojo, he throws out all his energy elixir. The boss is going to be able to recoup it, where a lot of people let the boss starve themselves out of energy elixir.
And with the boss having the high level attacks that he has right now, and that gate being so incredibly low, he is risking a chance of losing it.
Now you can see on Mr. Mojo's screen that 4,000 damage from the fire beam there from the boss. Oof. Not much you could do with that, so he is going to lose his gate, and it's going to be all squared up here in the final 10 minutes. So a lot of pressure on Mr. Mojo here to take down this boss. Meanwhile, Andrew picks up his 5th crystal. He's definitely cruising right along right now.
He really is.
We're getting into, Preston territory of the 10,500 victory we saw on Friday. Definitely doable to get 2 crystals here in the final 10 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised either if Andrew was feeling a little motivated after losing to Preston so early on. Wanted to come back and show what he was made of.
Yeah, not only does he have to come back from getting knocked out from Preston, he's got his brother Barrett, who's actually in the championship against Preston. So, there might be that sort of sibling, at the dinner table next time. Hey, you get maybe 3rd place. I don't want to say anything yet, but it does look like he's going to pick up 3rd place. 3rd place is cute. Maybe Barrett picks up the win, or maybe even 2nd. There is a difference between being in the 3rd place game and being in the championship.
There absolutely is. And knowing those two and seeing them for as long as I have, there's definitely some healthy competition going on.
Yeah, so that probably on his mind. I would assume, even if he gets 3rd, if he can beat whatever score Barrett's going to put up in the championship game, he would probably be like, look, I would have beat you, one-on-one. That's all that matters.
It's great, though, and every time these guys come in, their parents actually come in, too. So it is the entire Law family. We have the mom, the dad, the sister, both brothers all work out at Black Box.
Wow.
And it's so cool to see, the mom and the dad, cheering them on and, watching their workouts and everybody encouraging each other. So it's a really, really cool thing.
This is actually pretty awesome. We were talking about maybe, 2 heads because they were both going to theorize against this boss. They have, the whole family. They get together, all right, how are we going to take down Reser Supreme? They have a little, definitely the numbers advantage. We see Mr. Mojo. I can't quite tell how low he has either of those gates, if he's able to maybe knock one down. We can see he's on the left side there. I just can't see something standing in the way. I think it's a tower.
Hello.
It's kind of blocking it.
The champion you built.
Oh, hearing Maya getting sassy again.
She never lets up when she's just like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, look, I'm waiting for the boss to finish his attack. That doesn't 2-shot the champion that I just tried to build, Maya. Need you to calm down for a little bit.
Well, hold on. I got a plan here.
Exactly. It'll all come together. You see the Scotties and the Spark Crows for Andrew setting up pretty nicely. Not sure he'll be able to hit that 10,000 point mark. He hasn't taken down a gate as fast as I would have thought he would have. But it does have that tower in the way that his Scotties have to deal with. It is mildly annoying.
Very much. Mr. Mojo's is getting pelted right now by the meteor strike.
Yeah, luckily, since it is one of the AoE attacks, it does do slightly less single target. You see, he's got that left gate at about like 23%. He's going to summon Sunbird, some Lightning Tigers out, so he should be able to take that gate down and get the lead back. I do like the boss is kind of mirroring what Mr. Mojo does. A lot of Lightning Tigers, a lot of Sunbirds. It is kind of funny to see.
It makes you wonder if perhaps Mr. Mojo's strategies inspired some tweaking on the dev side.
Yeah, definitely this is like the most aggressive boss we've seen, only the one tank. Still seeing that Rock Dude quite a bit. So there's the gate for Mr. Mojo, though. So he's back in the lead. Might even be able to power through this crystal in the next minute or so, depending on if anything summoned. I mean, you can see how much damage. He's actually doing more damage than the boss is right now to the crystal, which is actually pretty crazy.
It is. Oh, and then Andrew's with the Spark Crows.
Andrew's got the strategy down. Spark Crow, maybe a pair of Spark Crows, some Scotties there just to eat up some of the attacks.
They released a lightning tiger. You better protect your gates and crystal from it.
Ooh, Mr. Mojo. This is actually coming down to the wire between Mr. Mojo and Rezer Supreme and who's going to take down this crystal.
Yeah, his crystal's getting pretty low.
Now, good news is that the AI, fairly enough, are held to that 25 rep limit, I believe, as well as the humans are. So they can't just rip through reps and you stand no chance. So the AI timed out on his attack as well. So Mr. Mojo's going to have a chance here. Both their crystals very, very low. He summoned a couple of Lightning Tigers, but I think he should be able to get this just before Rezer. As we hear Andrew takes down a gate, setting himself up in a good spot.
There.
Oh, he did it.
He did.
So he's got a nice, comfortable lead now on the boss. 3 crystals to 5, though, so I don't know if he'll be able to pull this off. I would say the one thing that, we talked about tweaking the AI and the no minion crews. The one thing I do think the AI feels a little lacking on just from this tournament, the Firehawk usage from the AI is pretty sporadic, and I don't know if I've ever seen the AI actually use a power-up before.
I don't think I have either, actually, and I'm thankful for that.
Yes, I am very thankful as well. I have been hit. Actually, last time I went in, I hadn't seen a Firehawk in forever, and I loaded up. I was ready to go. I had my 3 Scotties. I had my shield Maiden out, and then a Firehawk came, and I was like, I totally forgot they could even do that. And I just kind of sat there. I was like, well, there goes that crystal.
Yeah, it's never great. I do like it if the AI ends up using it like early on, because I'm like, aha, you don't have that for later, and I still do.
We do see the AI has gotten its maybe last hit on Andrew. He did take down a gate here. So Andrew has the crystal that damaged. Doesn't look like the AI has hit the crystal yet. And you see those hysterical deadlifts from Andrew doing quite a bit of damage. So, not a clean sheet for Andrew, but I'm sure he'll still take it 8,000 or maybe even 9,500 if he can get this crystal victory over the AI.
Yeah, if he can get a bit more damage out there.
Mr. Mojo, if he can get a gate, he'll guarantee his own personal victory over the AI. I know we've heard some of the competitors talk about that their focus definitely is to take down the AI. So if he can take down a gate, he'll be at 2,000 points, would guarantee at least a tie against the AI. So I'm sure that's Mr. Mojo's goal. If he can get another crystal, I'm sure he'd love to. He is trailing in crystals right now, 5-3. So I don't think he's going to be able to make up 2 crystals here in the final 3 minutes.
I don't think so either.
I mean, and you can see, we've seen this the whole time, especially from Andrew right now. When you get to these final 2-3 minutes, even though the game tries to play you whatever pump up jams it can, it is very, very physically taxing here after 28 minutes.
It is. It's one of those workouts that you're just going pretty much nonstop. And with these competitors, they're using heavy mode almost always. So this is just an insane amount of weight that they're moving right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can see there, it looked like the overhead press, the meteor strike only got a couple of reps in, but on the heavy mode, it did more than enough damage to take care of the Lightning Tiger and the minions that were starting to group up. Not a minion crew, but the minions that were starting to group up. And You can see that Andrews, I mean, he's decently close. He's got Rezzer's crystal at 68%. He might be able to pull something out here in the final minute and take down that 6th crystal just to, set a score for his brother, I guess, in this case, in that family competition.
Exactly.
Got the rock dude down. Oh, he's going to summon his own minion crew. First time we've seen him use that today, which is interesting because I felt like when we saw the boss use them, they don't really do that much damage. They just kind of are like little gnats that kind of just annoy you, kind of like spark crows.
Yeah, and since they're not elementally based, there's no critical hit on them, but they do have to, whoever ends up having to deal with them, you have to get them off your gate. So it just buys you a little time.
Does look like Mr. Mojo's taking down a gate, so he's got a nice 2,000-point lead. Should be able to hold up here. He's got the crystal for Rezzer at 69%. Meanwhile, Andrew at the same time takes down a crystal, so he has now built himself the 6-3 lead, which he should be pretty comfortable at. I don't know if that double damage is going to matter too much in the final minute for him.
Probably not too much.
I would say the one thing that shocked me about the minion crew is that they were considered heroic minions, which means they cost 300,000 coins to buy. That kind of threw me off. I thought they'd definitely be a lot cheaper to acquire and level up.
Yeah, those heroic ones, those cost a lot. I usually I wait till I can just unlock them, or I get them like in a chest or something.
Yeah, there is nothing more dissatisfying than, after the battle. We don't usually see it on the screen. You kind of get a roll for one of the chests. And there's nothing more sad than getting a heroic chest and not getting a heroic unit. And you're like, well, that was a waste.
Yeah, that happens.
I had that happen the first time, and I was like, really? I was like walking home, and I was like, oh, what's in my chest? I was like, really? This was all I got? I was so sad.
Yeah, I've had a couple crystal chests that kind of let me down a little bit. I was like, aw.
Yeah, every game has that where you're like, I got a chest, what's in it? And then you're like, oh, that's all I got. That's no fun. But we see the map, it has wrapped up. Congratulations to Andrew Law, victorious 6 crystals to 3. So he is going to be your 3rd place finisher here in the 2020 Black Box VR Winter Invitational, coming in as the fill-in for Josh. And a big shout out to Mr. Mojo, though, who did come back from a pretty awful start to be able to beat Rezzer 5,000 to 3,000, but the crystals just weren't there. So Andrew picking up that 3rd place, putting a lot of pressure on his brother Barrett, who we are going to see in the championship match against Preston. Don't forget that the Winter VR Black Box 2020 Invitationals all brought to you by Bang Energy. If you're looking for something for your next hike or your next workout, Bang is the energy drink for you. They've got a couple of great flavors. I usually have the privilege of sampling them when I am on the desk. Looks like today I've got another black cherry, which my fiance gobbled up in a heartbeat when I brought home last time, and then Bankster Berry, which I think I'm going to try just based off the name alone. So if you're looking for something, give you some potent brain and body feel, Bang is the energy drink for you. Any thoughts on our 3rd place matchup here, Amber, from what we saw today between these two competitors?
Oh, well, definitely. I just want to give a big congrats to Andrew for, coming back after losing early on in the championship. I know that was hard on him, so huge shout out to just pulling through at that on this last one. And I thought it was just a great battle all in all.
Well, let's hear from the competitors. Let's start with Mr. Mojo, who will end up as our 4th place finisher overall. Let's go to his post-game interview, see how he felt.
All right, folks, I'm here with Mr. Mojo. Just finished his arena battle. Man, that sounded like a tough one in there. How do you feel about your performance today?
Oh, I felt pretty good. I usually get off to a slow start, so once again, I lost the first crystal completely. I think I was down when I started the 2nd round about 2,000 to zip, so I really had to kind of zip it in gear. But yeah, once heavy mode kicked in, I was able to kind of do what I wanted, go back to my strategy. And so, yeah, it was nice fighting the top boss. Since I'm still in arena, I'm still in arena 8 right. I'm still in arena 8 right now. So
okay, Diamond League, right?
Yeah. So it was nice seeing the top boss and seeing how I stack up against it. So
yeah, I noticed they were throwing out a Rock Dude, obviously, as well as a Sunbird.
Yeah.
But, with that cold fusion attack, you're able to take those out pretty swiftly.
Yeah. Like I said before, the strategy is you deploy that lightning tiger, keep all that on the other end.
Oh yeah, I like that one. I've been using that.
Yeah. Then you come in with the grenade right after that. So usually what I'll do the 2nd and 3rd round is I'll set up the lightning tiger, put it out, and I usually see their tank unit coming down. So I immediately grab my grenade and my arm, and so I hit their gate and their tank unit, and then I go into cold fusion, and usually I get into hysterical pretty quick in heavy mode. So yeah, so it felt pretty good.
Right on. Well, thanks for the interview, and good job today, Mr. Mojo.
Thanks, sir.
And back to you guys.
It was just unfortunate, like I said, they wanted to get into the match. They were that excited to go. We missed the first 3 minutes, Amber, because that's where everything kind of went awry for Mr. Mojo. He lost those gates so early. I really want to know what happened to him and where his strategy maybe got thrown off, because it felt like after that first crystal, he pretty much dominated Resner after the first round.
This is true, and I know as soon as Mr. Mojo figures out that first little bit of every match, he's going to be someone you don't want to mess with.
Well, let's throw it to our third place finisher, Andrew Law's post-game interview. Of course, a big shout out to Sterling. He's been the man doing all the interview for this tournament. Probably maybe one of the hardest jobs, coming up with questions on the fly. But let's hear what Andrew had to say about his third place finish.
All right, folks, I'm here with Andrew Law. Just finished his arena battle against Resner Supreme. Wow, that sounded like a tough one in there. How'd it go, Andrew?
So the first round was a bit rough. My strategy didn't quite work because of, anyway, I won't go into it, but it didn't work for the first one. But after that, I got in the rhythm and it was good.
Nice.
So pretty good.
Nice. So your strategy worked for the most part, you'd say?
For the most part, yeah. My rock dudes didn't last quite as long as I wanted them to, but overall they did what they were supposed to do. So
okay,
it was good.
Well, aside from your strategy, how do you think your performance was today? Like, how do you think you performed?
I feel pretty good about it. Mr. Mojo still may beat me, but I think it's going to be very, very close if he does. So that makes me happy.
Yeah, and with a score like that, let me ask: is there anything you would have done differently looking back, or do you just leave it all on the battlefield?
Well, so just with the first one, and I guess by the time you guys see this, it won't really matter. So part of our strategy is that we wait till he's attacking the gate, and the computer won't change focus from one gate to the other if you're attacking the gate that. If you're fielding in the gate that they're already attacking.
Oh, okay.
So what killed me for the first round is that I sent out my rock dude and he was attacking the gate, but he killed the gate, so that reset his focus onto my units and he was able to take down my rock dude.
Gotcha.
So I would have watched that a bit closer.
Okay. Well, that's something we can all glean from, hopefully. Well,
yeah.
Thanks, Andrew. Good job today. Go home and get some rest. And back to you guys.
Now, we've talked a lot about the Law family, Amber, and this is the question I have for you, is you probably know them a little bit better. Andrew put up 6 crystal destroyed, 9,000 points. His brother Barrett's going to be in our championship game here in a little bit. Do you think Barrett would rather beat his brother's score or win the championship?
Ooh, that's a tricky one, actually. They might honestly be on the same level.
I'm sure he'd love both, but that would be a question I would love to ask. Be like, would you rather beat your brother and maybe destroy 7 crystals but lose to Preston, or just win the championship and then have Andrew brag that, hey, if I was in the championship, I would have beat you? That's always the thing that I would love to hear. But I think it's really cool you mentioned the whole family comes down. That is just awesome. And it's awesome to see that we have the 2 brothers here in the championship. So big shout out to Andrew. He is the 3rd place finisher in our 2020 Winter Invitational. Barrett and Preston are coming up. Before we do that, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with the championship match. Barrett and Preston coming up after this short break.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Legendary parts for legendary wins. NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pans Esports Arena. We just had Andrew Law take the bronze medal over Mr. Mojo in our Black Box VR Winter Invitational, and now it's time to crown the best Black Box VR athlete of the winter. I am joined by Amber Parker. I am Michael Fisher, and it's going to be Barrett Law taking on Preston, our two standout performers who last week put on an absolute clinic. 9,500 to 0 for Barrett, 10,500 to 0 for Preston. I mean, I really feel like these two are just neck and neck. And I mean, we haven't seen a double tiebreaker since our round of 16. I would honestly be shocked if we don't see a double tiebreaker between these two guys because they feel that close going into this championship.
They really do, and they typically have very similar volumes, and their scores are similar. So this is going to be an intense battle, and I'm super excited to see it.
See how both of them got here from the round of 8. Preston taking down Andrew and Josh. Barrett, meanwhile, taking down Rich and Mr. Mojo. So maybe there's a little bit of revenge as well, as Barrett Law's brother Andrew did lose to Preston. So maybe there's, a little bit of more added pressure on Barrett to redeem the family name, if you will, and make sure that Preston doesn't just take down the whole Law family. We started with 16 competitors. We're down to our final 2. They will be facing the toughest boss we have seen so far, Reser Supreme, who we just saw in our third place match. And I think the biggest takeaway, Amber, is those rock dudes are going to have a ton of health, and if you're not ready with your deadlifts or your squats, you're going to be in for a world of trouble very quickly.
This is very true. This is a boss you don't want to mess with.
And you can see, the exercise attacks just absolutely insane, level 35. I will say, I don't think in our third place match we saw any of what would be his highest level champion in Archie Sparks or the Chill Bill. We saw quite a few Sunbirds, quite a few Lightning Tigers, a Winja thrown in here or there in that rock dude. So maybe he'll change it up, maybe he won't, but I'll be curious to see what our competitors are thinking going into tonight's match. And let's start with Barrett. I'm sure pretty stoked that his brother just took home third place, but what are his thoughts heading into the championship match against Preston? Let's go down to Sterling and hear what Barrett has to say.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady.
All right, folks, I'm here with Barrett Law. We got the final round of the Winter Invitational Tournament.
We made it.
Are you excited going into this this final round? You a little bit nervous, Barrett?
A little of both, yeah. Definitely nervous, excited. Like I feel like it's a toss-up. We're going to be neck and neck on this battle, I think.
Yeah. What have you been doing to prepare for this? I mean, physically, mentally, all the above.
Yeah, I took a few days of rest and I did a hard workout before that just to get my body used to it. I wanted to push hard so it could feel like it was up to it, but then give myself the rest to recover. So that's what I've done. I'm fully recovered. I'm feeling good. And just hopefully I can maintain my strategy and put up the numbers I want to put up.
Well, good deal. On the subject of strategy, I take it you got Jim's email prepping you for the opponent today. Reser Supreme. I took a look at those stats and I almost fell out of my chair. Share with us a little bit of your mindset, your strategy going in against such a high-level opponent.
Yeah, his exercises are really high level. His champions are really high level. So it's going to be hard to kill off the rock dudes that he's putting out. But then it's going to be really hard to keep my own guys alive. So there's a lot of challenge there. I'm really thinking I'm going to have to push hard on my exercises to make up whatever ground for my guys not staying alive. just to make sure I'm knocking out those gates and those crystals. But I think I have a pretty good plan in mind for making that happen.
All right, good deal. Well, we've talked a little bit about the AI. What are your thoughts towards the human opponent? Obviously, Preston. You're going up against Preston today.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts towards him, or maybe something you hope he kind of messes up on today, so you can take the title for your own?
Man, I hope he tries some things on his strategy or does some things and it just backfires. I just hope some things just don't work out for him just right, and that they do work out for me, because he's a combination of fitness and strategy, hopefully that I can match. I mean, I think he's in better shape than I am, but I hope my strategy is just a little bit better, and then that way I hope I can make up that difference there and score some really high scores.
Good deal. Yeah, he's been known for switching up his strategy throughout the tournament, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does today. Yeah. But thanks, Barrett. Good luck in there, and back to you guys. Let's do this.
Well, Barrett, I don't know if it's confidence is the right word, but it was definitely something.
It was something. I would be nervous if I was him. Going against Preston, he is intense. He's really good at what he does, and so, but also so is Barrett. So, yeah, I'd also like to take a quick minute to say happy birthday to Barrett. It is his birthday this weekend, so what a cool way to start your birthday weekend is being in a championship battle.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess even though Andrew got third place, he's probably still has to pay for dinner, right?
Probably.
Especially if you're the champion. It's like, hey, that bronze medal is pretty cool, but look at this gold one. Well, Preston, I mean, as you mentioned, probably if we were seeding this tournament like you see any other tournament seeded, probably the number one seed. He's had insane scores. Before we get to his interview, though, I do need to know, Amber, has he had any more of his legendary back-to-back workouts that you've told me he's done from time to time?
I think he's taken a break from those for just a little bit here. But I know that he is continually switching up those strategies just in his practice time and trying to do other things and strengthening himself. So, yeah, he's definitely feeling the pressure from all this.
Well, let's go down to the arena. Let's hear from Preston. Maybe he'll give us a little hint at what his strategy is going to be for tonight's championship game.
All right, folks, I'm here with Preston Lewis going into the final round of the Black Box Winter Invitational Tournament.
Oh, man.
What are your thoughts right now? I mean, there must be a few things going through your head.
Oh, man, lots going through my head for sure. I think this is going to be a crazy battle against Barrett today. It's been kind of neck and neck. I've been watching his scores throughout the challenge and the tournament. So, man, he's been putting up some crazy numbers. So we'll see. And also the AI today is...
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Reser Supreme. I mean, I don't know if you probably looked at the email that Jim sent out. Hopefully you did.
Yeah,
Level 35 on pretty much everything.
Oh, man, it's crazy. This is like by far the hardest AI I've seen get in the game. So it's basically net new for Barrett and I. So we'll see how it goes. But, yeah, I'm guessing crazy rock dude, Sunbird. What else they have?
We got Archie Sparks, like a 38 Archie Sparks or something like that, which is insane, but hopefully can take him out quickly. That leads me to my next question. Have you changed your strategy up at all? I know you've been changing out some things during the course of this tournament. Have you settled on a solid one for this one, or are you still thinking about it?
Yeah, I think I'm sticking with the tried and true, the rock dude Scotty, but I have been experimenting, so I can't decide. I'm going to make a last minute decision whether I go with Spark Crows or Minion Crew.
All right.
In there to soak up some of the damage at the beginning. So we'll see.
All right, we'll flip a coin.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see.
All right, last question for you, Preston. I know you're amped up for this. What are your thoughts towards Barrett? Do you think he's going to make a mistake in there? Hopefully. I mean, what are your thoughts towards him?
Man, Barrett is pretty calculated with what he does. So, I think I'm just going to push as hard as I can. I'm going to be thinking about, the best score I can obviously get, but then also paying attention to trying to get the best volume and trying to reduce the score differential. So if it goes to a tiebreaker, I have the best shot throughout. And then, the other thing is strategic use of the power-ups and the Firehawk. So
yeah,
I don't know. But anyways, Barrett's an awesome competitor. So we'll see.
All right. Well, I have a feeling it's going to be a close one. It's going to be fun to watch. Thanks, Preston, for the interview, and good luck in there.
Thanks, man.
Back to you guys. Let's do this.
Well, I don't want to put you in a bad spot, Amber. I know you see these people all the time, so I won't ask you who you think is going to win. I'll ask you, who do you think is going to get the first crystal?
Ooh. I'm actually going to lean more towards Barrett on this one.
Oh, really?
I mean, no offense against my boss or anything, but
I don't want you to pick against your boss. So I'll just say who maybe you can think Preston's going to win and Barrett gets the first crystal. I won't put you there, but maybe the Barrett. I don't know if we can call it an upset because he's almost been neck and neck in score-wise. But we're going to hop right into it. Going to crown a champion in the next 29 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh, it's super exciting. I can't wait to see how this ends up going for both of these guys.
I think that the biggest thing I'm seeing right out the gate is Barrett doesn't have to deal with the rock dude. Preston's got a rock dude. Actually, maybe Barrett does. He's just doing those squats so fast I couldn't see the rock dude, actually. So they both had to deal with rock dudes. So that is fair.
Yeah, that is actually the fun part about watching this game sometimes. When you have the deadlifts and the squats, it's like watching a bouncy ball for a minute. So it's a little hard to keep up with what's out there. But it seems like they both got their rock dudes thrown at them.
Interesting choice for the meteor strike from Barrett here. I think that had to have been a Winja probably on that right side because he just kind of melted through it. Or maybe a Lightning Tiger. One of the two that takes the super effective damage from the fire. But he's still got that rock dude just kind of slamming away.
That looks like he's loading something up, and there he's going to go. Really? What? I didn't even see which water attack he grabbed, but it looks like squat possibly.
Yeah, it looks like they're both doing squats. I mean, you can see the damage, in between the bouncing balls looks to be pretty equal, that 1,008. So both their squats the exact same level, so very two evenly matched competitors. But unfortunately for Barrett, he is going to take the first hit as he is going to lose the first gate of the match as that boss, Reser Supreme, was throwing out 4,000 damage, just chunks at him over and over again. So he's already down the first 500 points of the match.
Yeah, it is hard to keep a gate alive in the first little bit with this boss. That is for sure.
See, he's got the rock dude ready to go. He's got enough for some Scotties, maybe Spark Crows. You see, we heard his brother kind of give away their strategy. Once the boss focuses in on a gate or a crystal, he knows it won't switch. So he was just waiting for the boss to start attacking that crystal, and now he's going to throw out all of his minions and know that rock dude's going to be pretty safe.
And it just shows, too, their focus on during this. I mean, this is such a physically intensive thing to do. And if you haven't tried Black Box, you don't understand. Like, this is physically draining. And so to, think while you're doing it, too, is major respect for people who do that. Because there's a lot of times people tell me, they're like, I don't know what's going on. I just grab a thing and do it. And these guys are not only picking things specifically, but they're targeting things at a specific time. And I haven't even been able to do that, and I've been around this for over a year. So huge respect for people who do this.
Yeah, it is incredibly insane. I mean, even when you get down into 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, you're like, okay, well, what do I do if the boss does this? How do I make sure this exercise attack is queued up? It is really physically draining and mentally draining by the end of it. Preston right now in a good spot. I mean, he talked about in his interview, wanted to make sure he held those tiebreakers of point differential or total volume, and he looks like he should hold on and keep his gate nice and healthy. So he's setting himself up here in a pretty decent spot with that rock dude out, and only going to get one Scotty, unfortunately, but still going to have at least some damage to chip away on that gate.
Yeah, he is keeping the boss back a lot longer than most people have at this point. He's got a gate still.
Speaking of gates, Barrett's actually taking down a gate from Reser Supreme, so he's gotten those points right back, and he's exposed the crystal. So a little bit ahead of Preston, I would think, in the overall, since as we talked about, crystals are the name of the game. We don't get to score differential unless the crystals are tied. So Barrett's got to be thinking, even though he lost that gate, he's in a pretty good spot. And you see, as soon as heavy mode comes online, he slams that down so he can start putting out maximum damage.
Exactly. I mean, you'll melt a crystal once you can put it on heavy.
It honestly blows my mind just how much damage we saw from Andrew, and now how much damage we're seeing from Barrett, just Scotties. Just the amount of damage they're putting out. I mean, he's loading up a workout, and his Scotties are taking the crystal down 30-40%, which is just insane. And apparently just destroyed the crystal.
There he goes.
It was like, okay, he stopped his fire beam at 20%. That will, all right, he's gonna have to make it up. No, the level 14 Scotties just obliterated it. So nice early lead here for Barrett. You were correct. You got the first crystal prediction correct.
Yeah, I do watch these guys battle a lot, so once I can copy the Law Brothers strategy that they probably should copyright at some point, then I'll be working my way up through the ranks too.
Yeah, there might be, a little bit of an eyeball maybe given to Andrew at the dinner table tonight that he gave away the strategy on the stream of, well, you just wait till the boss is targeting something and then you can just put your guy down and you don't have to worry. So their strategy given away a little bit. We do see Preston has picked up the gate, and he's also picked up the crystal in short form as well from those Scotties. So not more than I would say. Looks like productions tell me 50 seconds behind Barrett in terms of Crystal 1 being destroyed. So very, very close.
It's very close indeed.
And he's got the score breaker, the tiebreaker right now, because Barrett lost that. That one gate could be the difference maker in this battle.
It can come down to that when you've got two guys that are just so close and just their performance all the way around.
Their attacks doing numbers that I could only dream of.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see like half that when it's double damage mode, and I'm in hysterical.
Barrett's made jokes too how he should start, doing his own coaching or consolation or for Black Box members. He could just come in and have people pay him to train him. He might be onto something.
I mean, if he's able to win this, which right now, there's still plenty of time left, but he's got a slight lead, then he's got, he can also say, yeah, I won, and my brother, who I'm sure he would be like, oh, I trained him too. I don't care what he says. I trained him. He took third place. The Law family might have, they can set up their consultation booth right next door to Black Box. Like, come in here first. We'll tell you what you need to do on the boss, and then you can go kick the boss's butt in your workout.
There's one thing, too, is that actually Andrew was the very first Law member to start a Black Box. Before we even had a gym location, he was one of our beta testers back in the day.
Wow.
Then he got his brother into it. So that's got to be an interesting conversation. Like, hey, I brought you in here, and now what are you doing, man?
Now you're better. You can't be better than me.
I was here first.
We see, Barrett already, he did lose another gate, so his gate defense has been kind of shady compared to Preston's, so that score differential definitely something to keep an eye on here in the first 8 minutes, but he should make quick work of the opposing gate there for Resident Supreme. He's got a rock dude, sit pretty healthy. Yeah, there it goes. I can't even finish the sentence. And the Scotties, the rock dudes, the 3000 attack, fire beam, they're just all just ripping through. Max reps on heavy. Why not? Just, do it again too.
Yeah.
Of course.
Why not?
I think he did move it down to light this time, so, did make it a little bit easier on him. They both actually have the same level Scotties, too, both level 14, so no crazy advantage there. Meanwhile, the Wind Blast for Preston should take down this gate relatively soon. Can't see the percent, unfortunately. Scotty's standing in the way, but I would assume pretty low.
And Preston is really good at those hysterical lap pull downs. It's impressive.
It's like the inverse of the bouncy ball.
Yes.
He did actually get it. There we go. So he got the gate. So they are all tied up once again. But you can see there for Barrett, he's chilling because those Scotties going to take down that crystal. So that's second crystal for Barrett, and he's building that lead up just a little bit. See how fast Preston can get through his second crystal here and tie up the score once again.
And again, with the point differential at this point, with Barrett being down by 1,000, it'd be interesting to see what happens here.
Ooh, looks like for Preston, first Archie Sparks of the match going to be summoned here. See if he's able to deal with that one. Depending on what side that comes out on, looks like it is going to come out on that right side, so that's going to kind of power through those Scotties. They do not have a lot of health.
They really don't.
They are literally glass cannons. Like something like a minion could sneeze on them and they would just fall over.
They really do.
So yeah, it looks like another Archie Sparks on deck for Rezer. I do think the first one died pretty quickly, actually. I don't even think I saw it. Preston with those Wind Blast making pretty quick work of it. Got a Winjin now coming as well. Won't get the super effective damage, but should take care of the Winjin pretty quickly. Yep, not enough to save the Scotty though, so that's gonna unfortunately lose him a decent chunk of time.
Yeah, it will. It looks like Barrett's building a rock dude, so I'm sure he's going to follow that up with at least a Scotty and some Spark Crows.
Yep, we've seen. Both these competitors have the same standard build. It's absorb all the damage into your gates, slowly clear out those minions, and then put the Rock Dude, put the Scotties, put down the Spark Crows, and then go to town. You see Barrett waiting for the Reser Supreme to make a target selection there, and then immediately throws that one down. So he knows that that entire attack is going to go into his gate.
Yep.
Unfortunately for Preston, he's got that crystal at 45%. He should be able to power through it here. I think he's got a Rock Dude down there as well, and it's double damage. He should be just fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that Preston's second crystal is too far away.
He does have to get through that tower, though, I think. So that did eat up all of his basic and supercharged reps. So unfortunately, that double damage mode not really going into the crystal. Now it's going into the crystal. 2 more reps. Oh, no. He maxed out with 3% left. We saw that with Mr. Mojo. That can end up costing you a minute and a half, because now he's going to have to get through the Winja. He might have to get through something else. So that ended up could be just awful that he wasn't able to get that one more rep done. Cursing at Maya right now, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
He's like, I did squats again, Maya. Are you sure I can't just do like one more rep and be okay?
Oh, he hit hysterical again.
It does look like in the meantime, while we were focusing on Preston just barely missing that second crystal, Barrett picked up his third. So Barrett definitely moving into a very comfortable spot right now.
He definitely putting some distance between him and Preston right now.
Preston actually had to burn his Firehawk there to take, because there was just too many minions in his way. Lost a gate in the process. It is interesting with the enemy gate at 2%, he's not just queuing up an exercise attack. Maybe worried that the boss would kill. Yeah, I don't know why Preston didn't just put in an exercise attack. I guess buying himself a break a little bit here.
Yeah, I would think that just a little bit of squats would have taken care of that.
And instead he put down the Rock Dude and the Scotty, which should eventually be able to get down there. I mean, the other thing that it is true, he is buying himself a nice little, 20-second rest there. So he picks up his second crystal, but now he's not only slower on his crystal, he's a full crystal behind Barrett.
This is true.
It looks like Barrett didn't match his brother's 59-second crystal, but he did destroy his third crystal in 1 minute and 30 seconds from the time the round reset. So he definitely looked like he probably did the same strategy, got a couple Scotties behind a tower, threw down the hysterical berserk, and just kind of let him go to town.
It definitely seems like it.
So it is 1 power-up down for Barrett. The sidekick has been used by Preston, but he has both power-ups available, which we have to assume are both berserks. Both these guys have kind of realized the power of the berserks and Scotties. So almost halfway through, Barrett's built himself quite a nice lead, and then you see there against Preston, the Firehawk's been used by Reser Supreme, and that's going to clear out his Scotties that he had all set up there, or at least some of his minions. I don't know how many he had set up.
That was definitely not nice of the boss, that's for sure. It's very sporadic when the AI chooses to actually use that sidekick. There's a lot of rounds where he doesn't use it at all.
Preston, interesting strategy. Okay, I thought maybe he was going to put in another fire beam and just kind of try to ignore that Rock Dude, but it looks like he's actually going to put the squats in and maybe take down that Rock Dude. But I mean, these guys' levels, both Barrett and Preston, are so high that they can hit the gates for 7% in hysterical reps. They don't always need champions to help them out.
This is very true. And it looks like he just threw a title off there in the right-hand lane.
Yep, letting that a couple lightning tigers absorb some damage. Does look like Barrett has taken down another gate as well. He's got the tower protecting his 2 Scotties. who are putting in some work as we go over to his side now. So he's working on trying to pick up what would be his 4th crystal of the match as we hit the halfway point. So setting himself up to maybe take down those 8 crystals that we've seen a couple times from competitors.
I don't think he's got a limit on himself of what he's shooting for right now. That's for sure.
No, his brother did take down 6.
Oh, there he goes.
In the 3rd place game, so that I'm sure might be on his mind as well, making sure he finishes higher than his brother. So there's number 4, and that, leaving that 1 crystal for Preston at 3% put him from, 1 crystal behind to now 2 crystals behind very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think Preston might need to perhaps adjust his strategy a little bit. I think choosing champions to take down that crystal not last time maybe wasn't the best choice.
He's still got the 2 berserks available, so maybe he uses that. I mean, we've seen what that can do if you can get enough Scotties out, which, I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen. That seems to be the one, maybe that's the other lost secret that we've seen is you don't always need a tank to protect your Scotties. Just put down a tower and they'll protect the Scotties decently well enough while that hysterical berserk just kind of puts in work.
Yep, and then you don't have to burn through your elixir as much too.
Yeah, because you could throw down 2 Scotties right at the beginning. I guess you could maybe really, I'd love to see 2 Scotties and a lightning tiger and you berserk the lightning tiger as it's zooming past the Scotties. That would be the next level I would love to see somebody pull off.
That would be insane. I would love to see that as well. A berserk lightning tiger would be crazy.
That would be wild. That's the one thing that I feel like that I have had issues with is leveling with the towers feels like it takes a much longer than leveling up the exercise attacks. My towers kind of get run through.
Yeah, it does take a bit.
So that is the one thing, but they are definitely easier to get the maximum armor on than any of the champions. I don't even know if you can get 100% bonus armor on a champion. I think that's impossible.
Not especially on the tanks. Those hit patterns take so long. I think I've only Rock Dude and Big Sue, I've only been able to get a fraction of a health bonus on there.
Yeah, I had Big Sue once, and I picked him, and I was so lost that I didn't even get the armor bonus by the time I learned the pattern. I was like, what am I supposed to do again?
I hate his pattern, honestly. But, he is a good, he does a lot of damage, so that's why I tell myself, I'm like, all right, you're worth this.
Yeah, I've mainly stuck with the Shield Maiden, because I just feel like her pattern is just really, really simple. For the tanks, at least.
It is.
But we do see that Preston has taken down a gate. He's got the crystal at about 80%. He's probably going to lose his own gate as well. So both competitors have now given up 2 gates. But you can see the big difference right now with 12 minutes left that Barrett has those 4 crystals and Preston, unfortunately, is sitting at just those 2 crystals. With double damage mode, it'd be great if there wasn't a Rock Dude beating down on the crystal in the lane he needs to attack the crystal from.
Yeah, actually seeing some physical frustration and Preston there, just looking at that Rock Dude and seeing what he's got to deal with. Hopefully he's got enough in him to power through these last 11 and a half minutes.
Yeah, the double damage squats, even at level 35 for Preston, should be enough. I will say there's nothing more frustrating than when you get double damage and you have, Supercharger Hysterical and it gets wasted just one-shotting little minions.
This is very true.
Those are some of the most frustrating reps because you're already tired and you're like, really? Can you hit anything? Can you just get the crystal? Can you just leave the minions alone, please?
Exactly. That's where I need it to be.
Exactly. It just can be very frustrating, especially at this point where, you see that your crystal's being ripped apart, 6,000 damage at a time.
Oh, and now Preston's down another gate, so a little bit there with the points.
Yeah, now he's got to debate. Does he think he can power through that 80% on the enemy crystal before Winja powers through the 30% on his? He does have the Berserk, which I'm surprised he hasn't used yet, where you can just kind of Berserk those Scotties, and that should be enough. Meanwhile, Barrett doesn't need the Berserk. He's got the Scotties. He's got the tower right in front of him, and he should be sitting pretty easy here, taking down what should be his 5th crystal of the match here with 10 minutes still left to go. Just going to let those Scotties put in the rest of the work.
Yep. Catch a breath and get ready for the next round.
Yeah, depending on how long that tower lives, he might even be able to do another one of those double Scotty berserk rounds here and take down a crystal in maybe a minute, 2 minutes time. So he's building up quite the substantial lead over Preston, who now takes down the crystal. So it keeps down that 2 crystal disadvantage, but still pretty far behind at 5 crystals to 3 in the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, Preston's looking a bit fatigued.
He's still got the double power-ups available. So he definitely might have a chance at the put the tower in front and hysterical berserk the Scotties and use that to get a crystal rather quickly, but looks like the only problem is he doesn't have a tower built. So he's got to build this tower, then he's got to deal with that rock dude that's lumbering down towards his gate.
Yeah, and where his points are at right now, I wouldn't want to lose another gate.
No. Knows he can't afford to.
Maintain proper exercise form.
Got decent value on that turret. But I mean, you can't keep going on the turret forever when you see that there's a lightning tiger and a rock dude beating down on your gate. Opposite lanes as well, so you can't even use the AoE to your advantage. Definitely not the round Preston probably wanted from that one.
No, this is not in his favor at all.
Yeah, it just feels like every time we look over our Barrett screen, he's cleared up the rock dude. He doesn't have a lightning tiger. Here we go.
Yep.
Hysterical Berserk's going to land right on those Scotties. And, you know, this crystal could die within the next minute or less.
Absolutely. With that Berserk on there, they're just going to chew right through it.
Built a dangerous Tesla coil.
Well, there's a gate. Oh my goodness. The crystal health is just insane. It's dead. We looked over to Preston, but yeah, that was a 20-second double Scotty Berserk crystal for Barrett.
Wow.
That was...
Well, see, now the Law Brothers can compete on who breaks crystals faster.
That is true. That is the one thing where Barrett's fastest was about 1:13. Andrews was 59 seconds, which is just insane to me. We have never seen... I've never seen a 59-second round in one of our competitions. That's just incredible. Preston still has the 2 power-ups, so he could maybe pull something off like that. He just needs the turret in front of those Scotties first, which he just never has had a clean setup, unfortunately.
This is true. Like, it feels like he's kind of just getting the short end of the stick from the boss here.
I mean, the fatigue really starting to set in for probably both these players. I mean, this is no easy feat.
It's one thing for sure, the more you go through this, and I can attest to doing this myself, you start doing those slicing patterns, and you just start just like swatting at flies almost. Just your arms are just so dead. I mean, and considering the amount of hysterical reps that Preston's been putting in just on lat pull down alone, I think he's maxed on just about everything. So that's like 180 pounds easily going through. It would be cool to actually be able to see the volume per exercise on all this.
Yeah, I know we have that as like our tiebreaker, but I would love to see these guys' total volume from the end of this match, just to see how much they're putting in.
I think our viewers would love to know, like, you know, what does it look like when you do 40,000 pounds of squats alone? You know, like,
yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, I mean,
you're gonna get tired.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think I cap out at like, I think my high score is just 31,000. Period in a workout, and I was just gassed. And these guys are, we heard, I mean, from I think what was Barrett last week when he scouts Mr. Mojo. Mr. Mojo's doing 50 to 60,000 pounds of either deadlift or squat every single time he goes in, which is just crazy to me.
I see. For me, like, I top between like 16,000 to 18,000 on my squats, and that makes me have to take 2 days off. So this is crazy.
We do see Preston. He finally got the setup he wanted with the hysterical berserk on the triple Scotties, so he made quick work of that. Picks up his 4th crystal, hanging in there with Barrett. I mean, from what we've seen, it's definitely possible to take down a crystal in 59 seconds. I think he's actually going to try it here. So maybe he gets back within 1 crystal, and if fatigue sets in, Barrett could collapse. Yeah, he's going to go for it. Here's the double Scotty berserk. See if he can. I mean, he's got a rock dude beating on that turret, so he needs something to just eat the damage for those Scotties while they take down that rock dude. For Preston, I just don't know if there's going to be enough time. I mean, yeah, there we go. We see the gate's been taken down. You see the crystals going pretty quickly here. He should be, yeah, he's going to sneak back. There's a chance.
There it is.
But unfortunately, as soon as you look over to Barrett's screen, you realize Barrett not only has taken down a gate, he is now working on his 7th crystal of the match. He's got it at 62%. And I think he's going to build that 2 crystal lead back here pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's making short work of this.
Yeah, and his Scotties, even when they're not berserked, plenty of damage for him to just kind of buy those 20, 30 seconds of break time and really just, you know, get that extra strength to be able to rip through some fire beam chest press here and take down his 7th crystal of the match and probably all but wrap up this championship game, I would think.
I think that's the way this is heading for sure.
We've seen Preston put out 7. He put out.
There's another crystal for Barrett.
Yeah, there's the 10,500. If he gets one more gate, I think from the games we've streamed, he would set a high score at 11,000.
I believe so, yes.
I don't know. We haven't caught all the games, so if there was a competitor who put up more than 10,500, I'm sorry. But from the games we've streamed, Preston has the high score. He said it last week at 10,500. So I don't know if that's in the back of Barrett's mind. I mean, he also might be thinking, well, if Preston did it last week, he could do it this week. So Barrett might be thinking, I got to get one more gate in the last 3 minutes here just to maybe give myself those extra 500 points.
Yeah, once you know what your competitor is capable of doing, then you just don't stop.
Yeah, looks like Barrett's definitely setting up. He's got the Firehawk ready to go. He just wants to make sure Mr. Reser Supreme exhausts all of that energy elixir. And as soon as he does, there's the Firehawk, and now here comes the Rock Dudes and the Scotties. And I don't think he can get a crystal in 3 minutes without a berserk, but he can definitely get a gate here and get that 11,000 point total.
Yeah, looks like they're still pushing super hard, even with just less than 3 minutes on the clock right now.
I will say one of my least favorite things we were talking about when you get so fatigued, you just kind of look like you're swatting at flies when you're doing the punch slice, is when you know the exercise and you're just going through by muscle memory and you missed one and you just like, you kept going and you're like, oh, I missed the down swipe on the Scotty and I've like already gone through the motion like 3 extra times. And I'm like, gosh dang it.
Your guy had the energy to do that.
Yeah, I don't have the energy to go back. Like I just like close my eyes and I'm just blindly swiping because I know what I'm doing. And then the AI is like, oh, you didn't do it right. And I'm like, come on, catch me a break. I mean, maybe Preston can get a 6th crystal here. He's got that gate at 30%. He might have a chance here at least getting a gate down. Put up a respectable 8,000 points. But Barrett, as I say that, has now set our official stream high score at 11,000.
Yeah, that is an amazing score right there.
I would maybe could say he can maybe go for the 8th crystal, but unfortunately his 3 Scotties have nothing in front of them on that right side. And I think that Winge is about to just run right through them rather quickly.
Yeah. Winges will just eat up a Scotty.
Yeah, 1 down, 2 down. He can't quite kill the Winge. Actually, it looks like there was 2 Winges. Yeah, those Scotties didn't stand a chance against the Winges.
Not even a little bit.
So that probably kills any hope Barrett had of picking up a 8th crystal unless he gets a double damage here in the final minute. Sometimes the game does like to do that to you. It's like double damage. You're like, but there's only a minute left and I have no energy left.
Exactly. It's bad timing. No.
But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. He's going to throw it. He's going to try and make it work with some Lightning Tigers. I don't think he's going to have enough time just to go through the combo and summon them all. But he's going to try his darndest. But this should wrap it up with Barrett with an impressive score at 11,000. And then Preston, I mean, no shame there with the 8,000 score line against the hardest boss we've seen.
No shame at all. Both of these have just been stellar performances.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the 2 top competitors here really put it all on the line. Barrett's going to come away victorious with I mean, we'll hear from him in our post-game interview. We'll hear from both of them. I would have to think if Barrett says there's anything he wish he could change, I'm going to call him a liar. Because I would have to say he did not imagine going to the championship game and put up 11,000 points.
Exactly.
So a huge congratulations to Barrett Law. He takes home the gold medal. Preston, our silver medalist, and then, of course, Andrew Law, Barrett's brother, was our bronze medalist. So Barrett, the winner of the first Black Box VR Winter Invitational. I think you said, Amber, that the next one's coming up pretty soon here. So he's got only a few months or so to defend his crown before he's got to go right back at it.
This is true. We're planning on end of next month if everything goes as planned.
So I'm sure there's going to be more competitors. Their strategy has been leaked, not by an outsider, but by his own brother. So people are now aware. So I cannot wait to see what is going to come his way. But for right now, we will let him soak that up. And before we get to hear from Preston, who is our silver medalist, was there a point in that match, Amber, where you kind of started to say, all right, this one against Preston, and now I think Barrett's in a pretty comfortable spot and was going to win the game?
Yeah, I did see things, the quickness and the consistency that Barrett was taking down those crystals. And in just that one choice that Preston made, I think it put him behind.
Well, let's hear from Preston. Let's hear what the silver medalist here today, a very respectable 5 crystals, 8,000 points overall. Let's go down to Sterling here and hear what Preston had to say about his performance here in the championship game.
All right, folks, I'm here with Preston. Oh, my goodness, that sounded like a grueling arena battle in there. I could hear you from out here. How do you feel about your performance today in there?
I'm happy I pushed through it. Like, fitness-wise, I almost never get a side ache. I got a side ache, man. I was just, sucking wind. But hats off to Barrett, because that was, I think it was I got 8,000 to 1,500, and I don't know how he got 11,000, man, but holy cow.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure that out. That was a crazy display of the sport. I noticed you were having some issues with targeting the left lane here and there. That was something that I hadn't seen before. Was it just the intensity you were doing those exercises with? Or what happened there?
No, I think the nerves got to me a little bit. So I just kind of was being a little bit early. I wasn't being very patient out there. So and then when I was getting the squat armed up for the rock dudes, I was going so fast, I was trying to bust them out.
Yeah.
I didn't have the headset tightened enough, and it was kind of bouncing around, and so it was targeting left lane, right lane. So I was like, crap.
Yeah, nothing's worse than having a hysterical power hit a minion.
Wasted on a minion.
But you live and you learn. So obviously Barrett, I mean, he got 11,000 points. That's insane. What words do you have for Barrett, your opponent today?
Good job, man. That was, that's a cool thing. This is our first full tournament and championship, and we didn't really know how it would go, and it was really cool to see all the competitors compete like they did, and specifically hats off to Barrett, because man, that was an athletic performance
for sure,
for the books, for sure, because that was one of the hardest AIs, and he put up one of the biggest scores, so that was really impressive.
Good deal. I know I'm motivated and inspired now by both you and him, but thanks, Preston. Get some good rest tonight, and back to you guys.
I mean, pretty humbling there for Preston. I mean, I think he realized that, that was an unheard of score that we saw from Barrett. I don't think anyone expected that 11,000 points from either of these competitors.
No, that's a ridiculously high score. And so huge respect for pushing that hard. But again, knowing that Preston, what he scored last time, he knew what he had to go for, and he just stayed consistent through the whole thing, and that paid off in the end.
Well, we'll see. I mean, like I said, if Barrett says he has any regrets, I'm maybe the first person from a distance, because what I just saw, I know that he is much bigger and stronger than me. I'll call him a liar, because I don't know how you could be anything but just over the top excited for your performance. But let's get to our winner, our gold medalist, our first champion of the Black Box Winter Invitational, Barrett Law. Let's go down to his interview.
All right, folks, I'm here with Barrett Law, post Arena Battle interview. Well, Barrett, that was something else. Tell us a little bit about what was going on inside your head during that battle.
I was just thinking, I got to keep going. I remember looking at the clock 15 minutes in, just like, man, I'm dead. But I just felt, I got to keep pushing, got to keep going. Maybe I should have saved my power-ups till later when I was more tired, but still, I feel like I used those pretty well and just pushed, and maybe if I was absolutely perfect, I could have gotten one more, but probably not. I don't know. That was a hard one, but I do feel good. I feel like I gave it my all on that.
Good deal. Well, let me ask you, is there anything that the AI that Reserve Supreme threw at you that you weren't really expecting or planning on?
You know, I hoped I'd get lucky and have a few rounds start without a rock dude, you know, get a chance to do something a little easier. But I think only one round started with a rock, or didn't start with a rock dude.
Okay.
And that one they started with a sunbird. So still squats, same thing basically. But, you know, it was all right. I played it well. I feel like I got a good score. Maybe could have gotten slightly better, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, it looked like you were pushing it there at the end, trying to get that last crystal. I could tell you were trying real hard.
So close.
But good job today, Barrett. Let me ask you this final question. Did you stick with your original strategy, or because Reserve Supreme is throwing some stuff at you there? Did you change anything midway through the workout, or did you stick to your guns for that one?
I really just stuck to it. I had a really good plan going in. It was working out. I got the first crystal faster than I thought I could. Then I got the second one pretty well, and I just kept going, and it worked. I mean, like I say, maybe could have been a little bit more perfect on it. Maybe if I had a little more gas in the tank, I don't know, but that's all just maybe. But I think I did. I think I'll give Preston a run for his money for sure.
Yeah, I think you will too, and nothing to be ashamed with a score like that. But thanks, Barrett. You go home and get some rest, and
I hope so.
Back to you guys.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Sterling doing all of those interviews for us down at the arena, and a big shout out to Barrett. He is our champion. Now, we've got some statistics here, Amber. We were talking about the total volume.
Mm-hmm.
Barrett, 73,000.
Yep.
Preston, 69,000. And then even the more impressive stat you gave me, what was Barrett's squat volume in that last matchup?
It was about 46,000 just in squats.
Oh, my. That is insane. I mean, we knew it was going to be the case because, as he kind of hinted in his interview there, the squats are what take down the rock dude and the sunbird. So we knew that was going to be the case, but 43,000 in squat. I don't think I could walk for a week if I did that.
No. The way he just pushed himself, I hope he set himself like a whole new level of expectations and raised the bar there, because that was an amazing performance. So big hats off to not just Barrett, but everybody who competed, everybody who comes in every single day, every single week, and you've been sticking with your workouts. I want to say thank you personally to doing that. It's an inspiration to a lot of people, and competing like this has even inspired more people. So again, congratulations and thank you.
Yeah, I think Preston hit it on the head best in his interview. I mean, you mentioned there's going to be another tournament here in a couple months, and I think seeing this hopefully just inspires a couple people to go check it out, and who knows, maybe one of those people is the next Barrett Law, because huge congratulations to him. He is the champion of the Black Box VR Winter Invitational. Preston with the silver medal. I know he's going to try and redeem that, and then Andrew Law picking up the bronze medal in our third place game earlier today. Well, any final takeaways, Amber, from our Winter Invitational? Besides, these guys are crazy strong, and you and I can only dream of doing those amount of squats and total workout volume every time we go in?
Honestly, this has been just a lot of fun, and it's great to see that a family supported each other and pushed through and through all of this. And so, it's awesome to see people like the Lost coming in. Also, again, this has just been fun. It's brought us together. Like, we already were our own little quirky little community of fitness gamers, but we've pushed and strategized and worked together to figure out things. And so, yeah, this has been amazing, and I can't wait till the next one. So thanks for having us, and thanks for being a part of this.
No, this is a ton of fun. I saw your guys' advertisements. We do, hey, go check out Black Box. I was like, all right, I finally got to go check it out. So if you're in Boise, I don't know. I mean, I know there's some other outside of Idaho, but I can tell you if you're in Boise, it is in the Zions Bank building downtown. It is a ton of fun. Go check it out. Get through the 6 trial workouts. Maybe give it like 10 sessions. I guarantee you will be hooked, especially if you're a gamer. It taps that gamer instinct, and every time you're like, I got to go beat this boss, and then you're going to work yourself to death. But you're like, I put up a ton of points, so take that, boss. But it's been a ton of fun. I can't wait for the next one. Thank you, Amber, for being here. Big shout out to all the competitors. Huge congratulations to Barrett Law on our championship. We also learned it's his birthday this weekend, so what a great way to start that one out. Well, until next time, I cannot wait to see where we go from here for Black Box VR. But for now, we're going to say good night. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.